Hello friends, I'm Sherm Stanley and Trubiskita. Today, as I'm sitting in front of this nice warm fire today, it made me think about a couple of other principles that I'd like to talk about today about being open-minded and being prepared. Many years ago, I went on a camping trip up in the mountains just outside of Red Lodge, Montana. And when I showed up at the trailhead, my friend met me there and we were getting our gear together, and he said, "Oh, you don't need to worry about bringing a tent. I already got one up there," because they went the day before and they established their camp a couple of days in advance. The camp was about a 13-mile backpack trip in, and so any extra weight that I didn't need to carry, I thought was a good idea. So I trusted this friend of mine and said, "Fine, I'll leave the tent in the car and I won't have to pack one. That sounds fantastic." So we made our 13-mile track up into the tops of the mountains, up at the tree line in this beautiful mountain range in Montana. The trip was going fantastic and was really enjoyable. That first night, and this was in August, I woke up in water because it snowed and rained all night. And that nice tent that was packed in for me was full of holes. I don't know if they had packed it with a bunch of moths or what, but it was full of holes. What could I do? So I tried to stay as warm as I could that night, and then the next morning there was water all around my stuff, all my sleeping bag, and my gear was wet. And I looked at this tent and I thought, wow, what I would have done to have packed in that little extra weight to have a nice dry tent. But I couldn't do anything now. What was done, and I was wet. And I didn't have a different tent, so I had to make the best of it. I had to be open-minded. I was poorly prepared for such an event because it's something that I didn't know about. And that happens in our lives as well, where we have things that pop up and they're not any of our fault, but we have to deal with them. We have to stay open-minded. And I wasn't going to let this little event ruin my camping trip. So the next day, it was cold, there was snow on the ground, and hung up all my gear to dry out and stayed close to the fire that I could have that warmth and comfort let me know that things were going to be okay. And so I turned a tragedy into something fun, and we enjoyed that entire camping trip. And then we still joke about it, about how I had a holy tent that wasn't going to do me a whole lot of good. So when we have situations in school where something comes up and one of our classmates in a group project doesn't do their part and leaves us high and dry, we can still stay positive and have an open-minded attitude and be prepared for the next time. We can start doing better all of the time. And I think about that a lot, how warm a comfortable fire was around me when I was wet. How it would have been nice to have had a tent without holes in it, but I didn't, so I had to deal with it. Had to persevere the challenge. We're going to come across a lot of these things in our lives when we don't know what's going to be thrown at us. We try to be as prepared as we can, and then we adjust to the situations as need be and still enjoy whatever it is that our goals are to enjoy. So live that Trubiskita mindset. Generate greatness no matter what gets thrown at us. It's our mind that will get us there. We just can't quit. Don't give up. Keep pushing forward. Enjoy what we have around us to enjoy. That's a choice. So choose to generate great. Until we talk again next time, I'll see you then.